Hi there, Neha. Let's take a look at this new set of essays you've sent us, online communication in the workplace. Let's see what you said here. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether online communication in workplaces is benefiting the companies or merely reducing the productivity of it. Well, it should be the productivity of them, because this is actually referring back to companies, right? Which is a plural, so you need them, not it. This essay will discuss both sides using examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, I really need you to change this a little bit, because this is not just a discussion where, you're being asked, oh, talk about the positives, talk about the negatives. Well, no, they're asking you something a little more specific. They're asking you if the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. So it's a direct question. All right, and so you need to present a position on this question. So you have to be more specific, and you have to say if in fact you think there are more positives to this new trend than there are disadvantages. Okay, so remember how important it is to make your position clear throughout the essay as early as your introduction. So whatever that command, whatever that question is in the prompt, you need to address it. You need to answer it directly in your introduction. Okay, it's one of the easiest ways that I know of to ensure that your position is clear from the beginning. Let's take a look at your body paragraphs. There is ample evidence that supports online There is ample evidence that supports. Here I kind of want you to have a that here again. Okay, let's try it. There is ample evidence that supports that online communication saves us time and money, and even easy to maintain for many. This is awkward. And is even easy to maintain for many. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, for remote workers, it is difficult to commute for long hours, and this costs. It is difficult to commute long hours, and actually this saves them travel fare, which is now not necessary since they can communicate virtually. All right, so I changed a few words around. Secondly, it not only costs us, an employer, to arrange a place for the meeting, but it also costs additional perks for workers: food, accommodation, and traveling funds, not refunds. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that the advent of online meetings in the workplace saved enormous traveling time and money for both employees and employers. It must not be forgotten that although communicating online has no tangible experience, I don't understand that, it helps workers to be more productive by reducing the discomfort of commuting and thereby saving money. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that online communication has improved the working atmosphere and efficiency of workers. Without that, the. Okay, let's see. So you did say quite a bit about this. I would not say it was underdeveloped. I certainly wouldn't say that. You had quite a bit to say, although I was kind of unclear about a couple of things. So I just want to go through this. So, what did you tell us here? You told us that online communication is good and this trend is good because it saves time and money. Fine. So you told us that it saves time here. You told us that it also saves money here. And then you told us that it saves money for the employer. Okay. And then you also told us, again, that these online meetings saved time and money. So this feels a little repetitive because you just talked to us about commuting long hours and spending money on travel. And you're saying it here again, but now you're saying it both for workers and for employers. So it felt a little redundant. And then I didn't understand this at all. Has no tangible experience. What does that mean? Do you mean that does not allow face-to-face contact? I think that's what you meant, but I wasn't really sure because tangible experience is something totally different. Okay. let's see. And now here, again, you said this before, so it's now like the third time that you said this about reducing commuting time and saving money. Okay, so while at first glance it appears like it's very developed and you had a lot to say, essentially you said the same thing 3 times in the paragraph, and so I really want you to be careful about that. Okay, so it felt really rather repetitive. All right, now let's look at your next paragraph. Although there is a case for cost effectiveness, ever-increasing online security breaches, malfunctioning of the internet connectivity, and even decreased interpersonal relationships between co-workers cannot be overlooked. This is because online communication entirely depends on internet connectivity. You just wrote that, internet connectivity. Which can obstruct the event, as sometimes a system can be hacked by a third party if the software is outdated, which can leak highly classified information. For example, an extensive study by Oxford University showed that hackers can fetch over 90% of online communication data, which is detrimental for an organization. Consistent with this line of thinking is that workers may feel isolated after some time, which may lead to reduced efficiency. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that online meetings, with an S here, can be a problem for both companies and workers if not used cautiously. Okay, well, I'm glad here that you talked about the disadvantages of online communication. And that you didn't talk about the advantages of face-to-face communication. This is actually something that some students end up doing. So you focused on the right area. Now, one thing that I want to talk about in this paragraph here is that you spent this entire paragraph up to about here. So you spent about 2/3 of this paragraph talking about online security and internet connectivity. Okay, and then you had a whole different idea here about this feeling of isolation. But you wrote here consistent with this line of thinking. That's not consistent with this line of thinking. This is a whole separate kind of idea. And so I would have liked you to use a different linker here. Okay, so here for me, you really needed something like a furthermore, additionally, what is more, something, okay? Because it wasn't sort of supporting this previous idea. It's like a whole separate idea. So it needed a different linker here. And then I also think that you should have explored this a little more. So maybe you could have cut away from this, and then you could have spent more time with some sort of statistic as to why workers may feel isolated and how this is reducing efficiency. So I thought you could have explored this a little more and developed it, okay? Okay, so let's take a look now at your conclusion. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that the advantages of online communications are invaluable for employers and employees and employers collectively. Although there are some threats connected to online communication, it is predicted with a lowercase I that online communication will increasingly grow in importance in the future. Therefore, the merits of communicating online are far better than an in-person meeting. Okay, that's fine. I just want you to be careful of some of the things that I pointed out throughout your essay. I thought you did a nice job in general, but again, there were some little things in order to really improve it and take it to another level. Okay, so let's move on to your pie chart here. Let's see. The pie chart shows 7. All right, careful with this word famous. Famous and popular are not synonymous, okay? So make sure you are clear on the difference in the meaning here, when we use one, when we use the other, because it's not just a matter of meaning, but it's also a matter of context. So using the right word in the right situation. So famous is not right here. Let's try it again. The pie chart shows 7 popular subjects, namely, and then you named it, among school students in Germany in 2017. In 2017, between all 7 subjects, PE was the most popular studies subject, followed by history, maths, or physics. A majority of students preferred physical education, which is 22.9%, followed closely by history at 22.4%. Physics secured 4th place by with 18.1, not by, whereas mathematics was slightly more popular with an extra 1.4. Okay, fine. Let's see. Okay. Biology, geography, and IT were broadly similarly popular among. I don't understand this. What do you mean persuaders? What does that mean? Let's try it again. Biology, geography, and IT were broadly similar in terms of popularity among students. That's how I would have written it. Biology had, not was having, biology had the highest percent, which was 7.1%, followed by geography and IT at 6.4 and 3.7 respectively. The interest shown by students in IT was negligible at less than a tenth, while physical education was almost a quarter. Overall, almost half of the students liked physical education and history together, while a very small percentage of students chose to study IT. Okay, this is fine. This was good on the whole. I like that you had topic sentences to introduce each paragraph, so we pretty much knew what you were going to talk about, what you were going to focus on. I think you could have emphasized a couple of things. Let's see. Yeah, so I think it would have been nice if you had explained to us why you separated the subjects the way you did. So these were all broadly similar, as you said before. And I think it would have been nice here. You said here they were broadly similarly popular. You could have said something like they were all under 10%. And so that way it's clear to us why you decided to link them together. So that would have been a nice little piece of data to give us. But on the whole, I thought it was very good. Just little things in terms of expression, in terms of grammar, vocabulary, and so forth. So I thought you did a nice job with this overall, okay? Go ahead and correct them, return them to us, send us another set, and let's see how you do, okay? Good luck to you.